Hello again mga tropa. Ito na naman si Baliw. Oy, nandito na naman ako. Gabi na naman. At reaction video tayo. Pasensya na at medyo madala akong makapag-load ng video. Very busy. Very busy. Oh, ito. Shout out sa mga tropa natin. Oh, shout out natin ulit yung ating paborito mga tropa. Si Ma'am Edna Losa. Okay, pa-shout out daw, sabi niya. Tapos nag-message sa akin si Caris Langit. Uy, shout out daw. At saka si Alexis Texas. Oh, at saka special mention to Ma'am Penny Biray. Wow, hi ma'am. Kamusta na dyan? At saka si Ma'am Grespe. Okay, simulan na natin to. Ito, magandang ito. Part 2 na. Yung nangihipo ng buhok. Bastos talaga, no? Aha. Ghost versus you. Tara, simulan natin. Baka sigurado, panis na naman to.
It's touching your hair.
It's touching your hair.
Can ghosts touch your hair?
Can ghosts
This
touch your
group of
hair?
scary videos uploaded
to,
by
diba?
different people might help you make your mind up about it. Let's start with this girl who had no idea how dark things were about to get.
Waitress to, waitress. So yan, inaayos yung ano. Oh, tahinig ito.
She was clearing up at the end of her shift when an invisible force pulled her hair with enough strength to drag her a few steps backwards. And if a ghost can yank your hair in a coffee shop, imagine what could happen in a 100-year-old haunted house.
Haunted house naman.
Brittany Craft decided to pay a visit to the Villisca Axe murder house, and she caught something.
Ito babae, bumisita doon sa murder house at may nakita daw siyang creepy or something like that na kakaiba.
Weird and creepy for sure.
Or make some kind of movement around us.
Okay, ayan, nag-ano siya ngayon. Nagba-vlog siya ngayon. Oh. Uy.
Did you catch it? Her
Gumalaw
hair
yung buhok.
moved slightly, almost like it got tugged. Some commenters seem to believe that this was just because of her hair texture, but when you look into the dark history of the house she was in, it's hard to rule out any paranormal activity. Back in 1912, the whole Moore family and two guests had an unexpected visit during their sleep by an uninvited guest and his sharp axe, if you know what I mean. They all took their last breaths that night, and the case still remains unsolved over 100 years later. But the house become a paranormal attraction for many enthusiasts across the world. However, you don't have to be in a historical landmark to get your hair pulled when you're alone. It can also happen in the safety of your own home.
So cocked up.
Ito naman, iba.
Oh my god. Oh. I had two.
That was really weird what's happening with your hair.
Diba?
According to YouTubers The Creepy Corner, this girl was trying to record a quick Snapchat video when something seemed to pinch a strand of her hair. The movement seems pretty weird, and it doesn't look like there's anything attached to her hair either. But here's another one, uploaded by the YouTube channel Really Haunted.
Ito na nakita natin to. Yung mag-asawa, tutulog. Ang matindi ata ito, yung hinigit yung babae, no? Ayan. Oh, tulog sila. Sarap ang tulog oh.
Lee's wife can't seem to catch a break. The wall next to her would make it pretty hard for someone to be messing around off camera and accomplish that weird hair movement. Although, the shape of that dark, looming shadow creeping up the wall right before her ponytail gets pulled seems a little sus. Software masking techniques? Not sure, but it is definitely creepy. Surely though, Lee and his wife could just book into a lovely hotel for a break from all their paranormal activity, right? Well, just don't go booking a room in the Yankee Peddler Inn, because Roxy Quinn caught some footage that might make you close down that reservation tab.
Aba, kakaiba to. Baka ano nangyari? Oh. May humigit ang buhok niya.
Did you see how her hair moved? Let's take a closer look. Guests have reported many different sightings of shadowy figures, orbs, doors
Grabe, ah.
closing, and lights flickering over the years.
Iba?
And there have been even a few tragic deaths in some of the rooms. Though sometimes those
Kakaiba
supposed
yan, ha?
spirits fancy less of a
Oo.
spook and
Spook
more
na spook
of
ka
a
dyan.
dance. It's Chantel
Ito
A
naman.
tried to create the usual cringy TikTok dance video,
Aba.
but she never expected to catch something that stopped her dead in her tracks.
Baka kay ba to? Nagtitiktok naman tong babae. Uy! Tumaas ang buhok niya. Shit.
At first, you could say somebody
ayan,
just
oh.
snuck up behind
Oh.
her and flipped her hair up, but when
Oh.
she turns her body around, there's nobody to be seen.
Ano ba? Kakaiba ha? Oh, ano nangyari? Initializing. Ano yan? Ano yan? Ba't ganyan?
And we are rolling.
Ano ba?
Nice one, Drake. Look at these fools trying to.
Oh, ano nangyari to? Oh,
Guys?
no? Ano yan?
It's funny.
It's throwing you.
Oh, kakaiba yun ha? It's throwing you naman.
Can ghosts throw people around?
Ayan, iba naman
Take
to.
a look at all these scary videos before you decide. Let's start with the one uploaded by Fabrica de Fatos on
Ito,
YouTube.
yung bata. Oo. Uy, shit, tinulak siya oh.
Was that a shadow of an arm? That boy should think himself lucky he didn't stand too close to the edge of that
Oo,
roof,
kung hindi,
else
naluglag
he
siya.
could have met a very nasty end.
Yun,
The
oh,
same could be
nilaglag
said
na
in this
tinulak.
next clip, posted by Chris Buell, which will strike fear into the heart of any new parent.
Diba? Ito na ang bata. Ano kayang gagawin sa bata? Yung bata. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Yung bata, oh. No. Oh. Oh. Shit. No. Oh, shit. Shit, no. Grabe. Grabe yan, grabe. Nakawin bata.
The impossible crib surfing aside, those screams were not ones for changing or feeding.
Oo.
Those were screams of terror. That baby saw something that we couldn't, and it looked like something was holding his arms in front of him, taunting him before it let him fall.
Oo.
Luckily, he didn't get shoved the other way,
Oo.
but you're not even safe with your feet planted firmly on the ground.
Grabe, ah.
This next clip really shows
naman.
you that there
Aba,
could be
yung babae.
anything lurking within the shadows.
Uy. Shit, may tumulak sa kanya.
The last thing you expect
Grabe,
when you've
ah.
washed your hands is for someone else's hands to be throwing you around.
Oh,
At first
tinulak ko.
glance, you could just say she hopped herself, but there's a faint shadow drifting behind her.
Grabe, ah.
At least she didn't end up like the security guard in a video uploaded by D
Tama na.
Mankind on Facebook.
Oh, shit. Binalibog yung ano. Binalibog yung guard.
Something was playing a round of Mortal Kombat against the poor man. This was filmed in a block of council offices in Colombia.
Colombia?
While a security guard
Oh.
was patrolling. Something decided to throw him about the joint.
Shit, no? Grabe, ah. Kakaiba yan, ha? Kakaiba. Oh. Lagi may ganyan. Bakit? Kaya? Diba? Kakaiba to, ha? Backrooms, 1998. Diba?
It's dragging you.
Oh, it's dragging you naman.
Don't go watching these while you're in bed at night, unless you already
Kakaiba yan, ha?
are. In which case, make sure you keep those feet under the
Aba.
covers. In this clip, uploaded by Joseph
naman.
Morris, a young girl seems to be sharing her
tutulog.
bedroom with something a little more sinister than her imaginary friend.
Aba, ano kaya? Oh. 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 Oh, may dinudungaw sa ilalim. Oh. Oh. Hinigit siya. Hinigit siya.
While there's a good chance she could have just crawled there herself, those strangled screams for her mother and the smooth gliding under the bed tells us otherwise. And that isn't even the only strange happening associated with that bed. Take a look at this.
Yan naman, iba naman. Ano kaya mangyari? Oh. Oh. Oh, hinigit na naman siya. Yeah. Yeah.
The strange voice yelling at her to lay down could have been anyone, but why did she immediately run to the same spot she got dragged the last time? And just as you were worrying about the safety of the children, something could just as easily sneak up on you and send you flying. Check out this clip uploaded to the YouTube channel, Our Paranormal World.
Ba, kakaiba to Uy! Shit, tinigit siya! Oh! Puta. Nakatakbo, takbo. Oh, puta.
If there's one thing these shadow figures have in common, they really don't like people walking down hallways. But surely, if you just run home and lock the doors, nothing can get to you, right? Apparently not. Take a look at this one uploaded by Beyond the Grave on YouTube.
Uy, Beyond the Grave. Ito, ayan, kakaiba. Ano kaya mangyari dyan? Oh! Oh shit, hinihigit siya. Oh, hinigit siya.
At first, we could assume she was just sliding off the bed as her feet were already dangling out. But the channel is full of other weird paranormal happenings inside that house. And they also claim their mother had reported the sensation of cold hands wrapping around her ankles on multiple other occasions. But it's one thing having your sleep schedule messed with when you're expected the ghouls to come out around that time. What about when your daily routine gets dashed by some kind of supernatural force? Channel Mystery 31 uploaded this one on YouTube.
Okay, ayan, yan. Sinara din pinto. Okay, tapos akit atas taas. Oh, ayan. Oh, hindi. Ano kayang gagawin niya? Balik, ayan. Uy, shit, Oh, puta na. Hinigit siya.
It could just be some brilliant editing, but the way he helplessly flails around like something literally picked him up is pretty weird and creepy for sure. And now even your workouts can get rudely interrupted by the paranormal.
Iba yan ito naman yung nag-ano sa gym. Puta, napatakbo siya Ayan. Alis siya. Oh shit, kinaladkad siya. Oh my god. Tatakbo. Oh shit.
The rope swing, the light flicker, and all of a sudden the weight begins to roll towards the poor guy. Carlos Ruiz official managed to catch it all on camera, and even though many tried to debunk this video, it's still pretty creepy, so it had to be included in this section. With that being said, what do you think? Can ghosts really drag people around? Let us know. It's pulling you.
Oh, it's pulling you.
Here's a little compilation of reasons why you should not sleep over in a haunted house.
Hey everybody, this is Kathy at the Haunted Hill House, Mineral Wells, Texas. We've got the group gone and now it's quiet so we can focus on what happened here. This was at 2:15 a.m. in Jacob's room. This happened last night, early this morning, and I've got it zoomed in to where we can see her getting pulled off the bed. So watch carefully and you'll see her getting yanked.
Ayan. Hinigit daw hinigit. Tingnan natin kung anong nangyari. Oh shit, hinigit yung
As
bat.
you can see, she was yanked off the bed. This was not a fall. And then they ran out.
This was taken at the Haunted Hill House in Texas. A scary video uploaded by the YouTube channel American Ghost Hunter. A girl getting pulled out of bed was already creepy enough.
Yeah.
So this is going to happen at 3:14.
At
Drew is the
3:14
guy
a.m.
right here in the white. So he's in here kind of provoking, saying you want to pick on a girl, pick on me.
Diba? Ayan, yan. Ano kayo mangyayari? Oh
You
shit.
see he got
Ayun, oh!
pushed? I don't know if I'll be able to zoom in on that one. We'll try. That's where, is that, did he get pushed?
So right here it goes.
Alright, so I'm going to try to zoom in this area to see if we can see Drew get pushed.
He's right.
Alright,
Oh,
there
wow.
we go. Let's rewind it a little bit so we can see again.
Tinulak. Kakaiba niya. Mga galit. Galit na ano ah.
Wow.
See how far, how
oh.
hard it pushed him. Alright, so this is the one where they close the door, they leave, and something slams the door and pulls the knob.
Diba? Grabe ah. Hinigit pa yung pinto oh. Oh.
You see the knob pull? So we're going to rewind that again.
Oh. Ayun,
I'm
kakaiba
going
ha.
to zoom in to that doorknob to see if we can get a better view of it.
Ayun, oh,
See
hinigit
the
yung
doorknob
doorknob.
moving? Okay, here we go.
Hinigit yung doorknob.
Watch as the doorknob closes.
Oh, hinigit.
Look, it even lifted the screw up. Did you see the screw lift?
The house was originally a brothel, and it's now over 100 years old.
100
It
years
not
old?
only has seen death and maniacs' black magic throughout the
Wow.
years, but the
Kakaiba yan, ha?
testimonials left by its guests seem pretty legit as well.
Oo,
Check
kakaiba
out
yan,
what
ha?
Charles B. wrote on TripAdvisor, quote, "I have been there 3 times,
3
and I've
times
had
daw siya,
paranormal
galing nga dun.
experiences each time.
May
This
experience
is
na
the
talaga.
real deal, folks. Not kid-friendly, shadow people,
Diba?
moving objects, voices,
Kakaiba, ha?
etc.
Kompleto,
But how
ha?
about we step outside with YouTubers Gank Gumpy to a burial ground that is home to over 200 corpses?
Wow.
This burial site isn't just a normal one though.
Yan,
It is
iba naman
only
to
for
burial.
those who have had no relatives left to retrieve them. The guys attempt to summon some of
ito
these
yung
supposed
ano.
spirits with a ritual which involves sleeping in one of the empty
Natulog
graves.
sa ano
But
to,
turns
empty
out
grave.
those ghosts really didn't fancy any company.
Oh, yan. Oh, shit, hinigit. Hinigit oh.
The channel claims that he was alone as just a few shots before, the whole team, including his co-host, walked away to let him complete the
napatakbo
ritual.
ka.
So who the hell tried to pull him out of the grave?
puta.
Again, many tried to debunk this video, but whether it is real or fake, it is definitely not for the faint of heart.
Yeah,
Here's
delikado
another
yan.
creepy one uploaded by The Dark Path Scary.
Baka
You
iba yan,
probably
ha,
watched
mga
this one
kaiba.
already, but of course, we had to include it in this mega compilation of ghosts touching people.
Ghost touching people eh. Ayan. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, hinigit siya. Oh, yun nga ito yung lalaki. Hinigit siya. Oh, lumilipad sa ere. Oh.
What makes this clip bone-chilling isn't the violin pulling itself, but the fact that the man sat on top of his pillow straight away, clearly having a panic attack. Either his acting is immaculate, or he was generally shot to the core. Here is another one being pulled by something.
Oh, ha? Ah, ito, tutulog oh, puta. Ah, kakaiba. Oo, maangat yung paa. Oh, hindi pwede may tali yan. Ang hirap niya, no? Oo. Oh, shit.
Although this video uploaded by Haunted Safari still looks pretty creepy, we can't help but notice that some dust comes down from the ceiling when the dude gets pulled. Maybe it wasn't strong enough to hold the string, or did the poltergeist have to hold a little too tight? Before you decide, let's go over to Mindseed TV as they investigate a house where a woman recently died in.
Ito na naman
They
yung
didn't
nakita
expect to
ko.
find much until one fateful night.
Advance na natin to.
We can
Ay,
see
sige,
Casey
tuloy na natin.
clearly
Ayan.
unable to sleep. He explained that throughout the whole night he was having vivid nightmares where he was being attacked by a faceless being. But when he finally drifts off with his arm
Kakaiba yan.
dangling over the bed,
Sa bahay. Oh, shit, hinigit siya.
the way his whole body moved was so unnatural.
Kakaiba,
Later on, he even went on to say he could feel something faintly gripping
Aba?
and pulling him out of bed. But what do you think?
Yeah.
It's touching you.
Oh, it's touching you na.
When you feel a cold sensation on your shoulder, you can usually brush it off as
Aba,
nothing but your
kakaiba yan, ha?
imagination.
It's touching you
Maybe
na.
you've been watching our scary compilations a bit too late at night. Let's
Ayan.
see what it looks like to be touched by a ghost.
Aba, saan kaya yan? Isang... ayun oh. Ayun oh.
Tyler Medeiros TV
Grabe,
uploaded this clip showing a shadow figure stalking down a public footpath.
Aba,
And while it's pretty easy to edit a shadowy figure, the person that the figure walks through right at the end turns around, as if acknowledging something.
bueno.
Here's another one. This time a
Aba.
ghost that seems to
Oh,
be
shit.
interested in touching a little more. Posted by FarMacan52 on TikTok, it shows a woman's reaction that seems to be one of genuine shock.
No.
Although she must be a light sleeper considering only a little bit of movement jolted her
Oh,
awake.
hinigit oh. Hinigit
Could
yung
this be the
kahiga niya.
result of some off-screen tampering or real footage of ghosts touching people? What do you think?
Kakaiba yan,
Either
ha?
way, make sure you tuck yourself in
Oo.
extra tight tonight.
Delikado yan.
But if you haven't
Grabe ah. Ayan, tropa. Sana nagustuhan nyo. Kakaiba ah. Maganda. Yung ano siya, mga nanghahawak at saka mga umihipo. O siya. O, paano tropa? Paa!